Now, I can't tell you what exactly I thought was going to happen when the Great King of the Underworld found out that he couldn't use his magic on another being, but I didn't think he was going to resort to straight hands. Before I have this review of chapter 318 of Black Clover, please do me a favor, leave your own thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Now, let's get into it. What's up guys, I got a pencil here, and here we are to review chapter 318 of Black Clover, which is known as Presence of the Demon King. And no offense, Lucci, but I feel like Seven Deadly Sins is calling you right now. That name's a little bit trade. Actually, no, he was a demon lord. Never mind, he's good. But let's hop right into the chapter itself. So we open up, and we get to see that Lucci's kind of just chilling. Like, and to be fair, he was mid-movement. Like, last chapter, it seemed like he was going somewhere. Where he was going, not a clue. I think he actually was going to meet up with Asta, though. Like, he blitzes past Asta, or, like, blitzes right next to him. I don't think he actually, like, was going to leave Asta alone. So, he literally blitzes right there, and I love how Asta, like, he's so frozen, this, like, almost like, what am I doing here? What is he doing here? I thought I sliced him in half. What is happening right now? And you get to see the poor boy leave. He's like, Lucci, you're the one piece villain that slaughtered my mother. And I love how, like, it's weird to say that I love this, but when Lee goes to have his cathartic moment, right, when he literally asks Lucci, like, do you remember me? You're the one who killed Lasita. And like he like, you see, even through his like little mini demon form, little devil form, he's like, he's still screaming in anger. Like, Tabata goes out of his way to draw what Lee would actually look like if he was in his full size. And I love how Lucci just has this weird expression. It's like, I don't know, Lucci has been drawing very weird expressions. I think that's on purpose. He's supposed to be something alien, but like, I'm not sure what this face is even supposed to convey. Because you think, with what he says, he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're trash without so much of a scrap of magic power. What are you doing speaking to me? And like, you would think that would convey like something, nothing more than like confusion, if anything, like maybe confusion, like nonchalance or whatever. But he seems to be like a mix of angry, confused, and constipated. I don't know. It's a weird face, but I suppose remotely intimidating. And I love how Lee just like, in this one panel, you can just tell there's this moment of realization in Lee's eyes, right? You can just see that he realized that everything he went through, the years of suffering trapped in that Grium, or all his years of suffering in the underworld, and even living with his mother, having that all ripped away from him, his only joy in life taken away, meant nothing to this thing. I call it a man, but I don't know sure what Lucci is other than a One Piece villain. So I love how there's just this look of just sheer, like, it's not even, it's half realization, half, I'm about to say three halves, but it's like a third realization, a third pure anger, and a third like just a hint of sadness, right? And I love how Tabata just portrays that all in one, because it's really Lee realizing he was pretty much worthless. And no matter what he could do, even with his development of anti-magic, like, there's just nothing that could stick in this man's mind, that what he went through meant anything to him. And I love how Lee doesn't even get like a moment of like, he doesn't even get to like fight back against what Lucci says. He's like, because Lucci immediately combos into like, yo, not gonna lie, your very existence disturbs me. And he just, now notably, I'm not sure how big this area is, but simply by flexing his existence, he seems to just level an entire, someone calc that. All my calc demons, someone go calc, that's gotta be a feat right there. Because simply, he's just flexing. He's not even, once again, he's not using any magic spells. He doesn't even have a Griamore. He's literally just existing and like maybe flexing his pinky toe, and he's ravaging entire landscapes. I love the devastation this man brings, like literally tearing up the entire area. And it's to the point where even Asta, who's using, like, he's on Demon, is it Dweller? Hold on. I always get the sword's names confused. Demon Slayer. He literally is chilling on Demon Slayer, and he's flying on it, meaning he's coursing anti-magic through the blade, but literally just because of, like, how much pressure Lucci is exerting, and kind of, like, overwhelmed whatever control or whatever anti-magic Asta was fueling into it, so he literally is forced to the ground. And, like, notably, this is coming from a person who can't sense magic, right? And I know Asta's probably said things like this before, but the way that Asta, a person who I believe literally against the twins, was like, sorry, y'all probably have some extreme amazing magic, but I just can't sense it because I have no magic myself. But he's saying himself such an insane amount of magic power. And I love just how Lucci's being portrayed as what he quite literally is, this otherworldly existence that transcends anything that the gang, Asta, or anyone in the verse has really encountered before. Like, obviously you had your Megis and you had your Xenons when they transcended, but still nothing comes close to what Lucci is, and I think that's great. And here's the one kind of sort of issue I have with it. I feel like Asta's a little bit under invested. Like, does anyone else feel that way? Like, for some reason, I thought when they did DU, when they performed Double Union, I thought they'd like share memories or something, or like on some fusion stuff, right? Like they would have they're in total unison, they're fused together, they're perfectly unified, so they would have the memories of each other. Because it seems like Asta still doesn't know what Lucci did, and it doesn't seem like Lieb informed him. And like, obviously Asta's fighting to protect his friends, but sorry to say, but I would have very much appreciated, like, if y'all seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when it's revealed, I don't care if I spoil it, but when it's revealed that Ego killed Peter Quill's mom, I was kind of hoping that we'd get like a "you killed my mom" like kind of transformation in the Devil Union, because I don't know, like Lieb is carrying all the emotional investment right now, and that's not bad. But when you think about it, all of Asta's, like, other than the fact that Lucci's right here, right now, threatening to kill everyone he just saved, like, Asta doesn't really care. Yami's saved, his surrogate father figure is saved. While he doesn't know where everyone else is, obviously he's the one that's 1v1ing Lucci right now, so they aren't in any, I mean, they are in immediate danger, because simply this man's presence is leveling the entire landscape. But relative to personal emotional investment towards Lucci as a villain, Lieb's backpacking all that right now, and I wish Asta had some. And to be fair, Asta didn't know anything about his mom, like, at all. He was an orphan for orphan's sake. But like, just imagine the life he could have lived, especially if he had directly, like, say he had like a first person viewpoint of all of Lieb's memories through Devil Union and stuff like that. Say he completely understood everything Lieb went through all those same emotions, all that, because he just experienced it. Like, the two literally linked. They're the same age. They have the same mother in a certain sort of way. I feel like it would have been great to have those two merge, so their unification in the Devil Union this time isn't like the split motivation what we had before, where back when they were splitting the manifestation of Lucci, Asta was solely fighting to get Yami free of that, and Lieb was solely fighting to avenge his mother. Both would have this new line of focus on the idea of avenging Lucida, who is very important in both of their lives. Obviously, one was born from her, and the other was raised by her and shown love. So I feel like it would have been great to sort of incorporate that. But I guess Tabata just didn't. And to be fair, that's not a dig on the chapter, but just something I noticed when reading through. Like, Asta is very much uninvested directly with Lucci. Like, literally, Lieb has to say, Asta, more than anything, what I want is to defeat him. And Asta isn't like, me too. He's like, I got it. As in, I know you can't, so I'll do it for you. Not like, oh, I understand why you want to defeat him. I'm gonna go do it too for the sake of our mama. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm not saying it is. However, I'd appreciate if we got a little more personal investment on Asta's end. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for too much. I just want, a little bit like, you kill my mama, I'm gonna get you back for that. But hey, it'd be like that when it'd be like that. So maybe it's still gonna be a plot point in the future. But with Lucci being here, I feel like you kind of missed your shot. If this is gonna become a thing in the future, it's a little bit too late. But we get to see that when Asta he transcends, ready to go into W and just get to smacking. Our boy Not is like, yo, don't make any sudden moves, Asta. Chill. And honestly, like, where is he? Like, wasn't he far away? Like, Asta was flying back. Well, maybe he's not too far, but like, he yells for Asta to not make any sudden moves, and Asta, being Asta, is like, yo, forget that. And he literally slams Demon Slayer into the ground and then goes flying straight for Lucci through magic tracking. And I love how, this is what makes me wonder about the second devil, right? Because is Lucci's presence simply ignoring him because he's of the same species or because he's of like a similar rank, like he's a supreme devil of a certain level, and he's like essentially one of Lucci's subordinates, so he's not going to harm him directly, and that's why he's not affected by the gravity? Or is he just, or I'm not sure what they are, but are they just so strong that they aren't falling under the effects of the gravity? Because notably, they aren't just, I mean, maybe this is just a manga issue and we can't tell if the rock is in motion or like if it's falling and it was only sent up into the air because of Lucci's devastation. But the second level devils who are just chilling there, if anything, they're using anti-gravity against Lucci's magic and simply floating up on a floating stone. So are they that guy? Because even if that, say the stones are falling, that means they still are so unaffected by Lucci's presence that they're literally just sitting there. They're not smushed into the rock they're on. So I don't know. It's pretty darn impressive. And speaking of impressive, even they know that, wow, it's actually kind of wild. There's someone who can move within Lucci-san's ability. And that's another thing. This guy has to be like a close friend or a well-trusted confidant or subordinate, or at least he has no fear of Lucci. Because notably, he says San. And I'm not sure what the official translation is going to say, but I know he says San and not Sama. And now, once again, I'm not too brushed up on my Japanese, but if you're going to refer to someone who is literally your lord and or king, in the sense of Lucci over there, I feel like you wouldn't refer to them as San. I think that's a more common term, or it's still respectful, I'm pretty sure. Like every single, I'm not sure. See, I'm not going to try to go too deep into my understanding of Japanese. I just know Sama is a more respectful way to refer to someone who's a lord. You don't call him San, but second level devil, who we still haven't gotten the name of, ironically enough, is referring to them as San. So who knows? Maybe they're just that guy. Maybe they are just that individual, that true being. And if so, I cannot and will not knock their hustle. Nah, I respect it. I respect the gains. And I love, like, notably, we see Asta charging in, and like Asta, to be fair, I can't even get mad at Asta for this, right? Because reasonably, every other magic problem he's run into in the series, or every other problem he's run into the series that has been like of decent issue to him, even with anti-magic, pre or post Devil Union, was just that. It was all magic based. It wasn't necessarily much strength behind it. Like Asta was known as one of the physically strongest characters in the verse, relative to Yami, relative to even like a super body magic amp Dante. Like he's a physical strength monster, and while looking at him, you wouldn't necessarily think Lucci's the strongest dude out there. So when Lucci sort of just casually catches the blade that Asta swings just in his hand, and Asta can't move it. Yo, while in Devil Union, bro, when I tell, like, it's weird. Like, I saw the raws of this first, right? Because notably, the reason this is coming out so late is because I couldn't even find the darn chapter. Like, I knew it came out like a week ago, apparently, even though it was supposed to be on break, so I thought it would come out like this. Things confused me, alright? But regardless of that, like, when I first saw, like, Lucci just holding it, like, he's literally just holding Demon Slayer, I was like, what? How is he holding an entire verse right now? But no, in actuality, I was just shook because notably when Asta notes that he can't move the blade, like he's tugging. This is Asta, fully Devil Union up, max strength, max power, with 4 minutes left on Devil Union. And Lucci's holding it with one hand, and he's not even flinching as Asta is struggling to pull it away. So this means one of two things. Either A, Lucci's so good with his magic that he's able to sort of like create his own like gravitational space around him, meaning it's basically impossible to move things since he's sort of like, he had potentially attracted the metal part of the blade to him, and with his hand or body as the center, it's not going to move from that point. And Asta is strong, but he can't like physically overwhelm gravity to that extent. And or Lucci, in all of his skinniness, just has the most insane gains in the verse. Because I mean, no one this skinny in the verse previously was this strong. Like, Asta has gains. Gaja, well, I'm not sure Gaja wasn't even physically strong. He was a mage. So, Asta has gains. Yami has gains. The rest of the verse does not have gains. So, to see this skinny man pull up and just overwhelm one of our physically strongest characters, insane. And I love how Lucci is like, for a moment there, he's almost intrigued, right? Because he grabs the blade, but he has this very flat face. Like, he doesn't seem like angry or annoyed or anything like that. He's just intrigued. and he grabs the blade, and then he takes his finger, touches it, and then slides it, and then he looks at it, and just a single drop of blood pops out, and he has this like moment, like I kind of get what he's going through. It's like imagine this. It's like the first time one of your younger family members actually does damage to you, right? Like you all always play fight, but they finally got big enough that when they land that punch to your jaw, you actually feel it. It's like, ugh. Like you go from perfectly calm to shock to you piece of filth. And like I said in the intro, I don't know what I expected. I really don't know what I expected. But the fact that Lucci, in the same moment that he realized that Asta is not only immune to his magic, but can somehow actually damage him if he lands a cut, he just buries his fist in Asta's face. Like that was a genuine slobber knocker. Like there's no other word to perfectly describe what happened there. That was a hands down, pure fist to face slobber knocker. Like, jeez, it's just so funny. And like, on a less serious note, well, actually on a more serious note, which is even scarier, what the second level devil confirms to us too is that, you know, he's still incomplete. Like, he's currently boloing Lucci. I mean, not Asta. Asta's getting sent flying, but Lucci is he's so swole that even while incomplete, mind you, probably around 50%, he's simply unmatched. Like, just in raw magical and physical abilities, notably. That's the more impressive thing to me. Physical abilities, Lucci is unmatched. I thought Lucci, based on his design and how skinny he looked, he may have been tall, I initially thought. But in terms of just, like, in terms of, like, physicality, I thought maybe other lesser devils could maybe like brawl him. It's just the main thing they couldn't get past was that unstoppable magic. Because when you control gravity, like, as long as they can multiply the gravity high enough, it doesn't matter how strong you are, you press to the ground. But it seems like, nah, Lucci's been hitting the gym. He got that slim muscle on him. And I also really like his tail. His tail's pretty cool. But we get to see that the gang is somehow still alive. And it's mainly because of Rouge. Like, Rouge, despite being pressed down, is chilling. Like, save them all simply because Rouge is Rouge. Fate magic is kind of cracked, I'm not gonna lie. And we get to see that Yami is he's like saved, but he's still dying. And notably, Asta does not help the case when he comes crashing down like a meteorite not 2 feet away. And it seems like all hope is lost, because if Lucci just gets like an inch too close, he's just boom, everyone's dead. Which implies that, like, once again, I just love, even though not much has been said about Lucci, it's so much is implied by it. So it seems like Lucci has like spears of gravitational influence, much like a planet, right? Like, the further and further you get away from a planet, and especially a planet's core, the lower and lower the gravity gets. So think of Lucci as like the planet, or at least a core of a planet that is honestly, now that I think about it, exerting opposite gravitational force. Because if Lucci himself was exerting gravitational force, everything would be getting pushed towards him or pulled towards him, but he's pushing everything down. So like, if anything, it's weird to say, but like, Lucci's like a hovering gravity releasing platform, and the closer he gets to you, the heavier the gravity gets. And it seems like it's all over. His presence, just his presence his presence alone is enough to force everything down. People, magic, even fate itself. This is the king of the underworld. And I love how Asta's just like, whoa. All he did was hit me with a slobber knocker, but I can't see straight. Wait, no, I gotta get up. I gotta rise. I gotta do it. And then the father gets up. And like, I mean, it's cool that all the captains can stand in this gravity field when, like, you know, I mean, Yami's super drained, so it makes sense why he can't, even though he's captain level. But like, gosh darn, y'all are gonna get annihilated. Like, no offense. Unless Tabata, like, takes a scaling and throws out a window, y'all should get bullied, because Devil Union Asta should be like just way above all y'all, and he got one shot. So what are all y'all planning to do? I don't know, but I'm still kind of excited to see. So this is a really good chapter, like straight up on all the presentation fronts, other than my little gripe about like Asta not knowing about Lucida. 10 out of 10 chapter. Easy, juicy, solid, beefy. I love it. Great. And those are my thoughts on the chapter, so please tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Zach the Pencil, writing off.